Alright guys, welcome to this video. Today I'm going to show you how to do an oil change in your Great Wall with that very nice drifted stitch right there. There we go. Alright, so basically this will work for any car. It will only work for vehicles that have drifted stitches right there and there. This is everything you'll need to do an oil change. Let's start here. This is just like a catch can. You can have like a container to pour it in so you don't carry around an open container with oil. Check with your Autobahn or any vehicle store what oil you need. My car uses 1040 semi-synthetic. Then you can also check for your oil filter what one it is. They'll check that for you if you don't know. Also, if you go to Autobahn or any vehicle store, they'll also tell you the exact amount of oil you need for your car. In this case, the 4G69 engine uses 4.3 liters. This is a 5 liter container. Moving on to the spanner. So you can use a spanner or a socket with a wrench or a ratchet. I'd recommend using spanner because it's hard to get into the sump plug. Socket won't fit in there in some cars. So yeah, it's too big to actually fit in there, so you don't have enough room. And obviously to remove the old filter, you can get any filter tool. It doesn't matter what one you get, as long as you can remove the filter. That's also supplied at Autobahn or any vehicle store. For those that don't know, your oil filter is right there. In some cars it's located up above, some cars it's located directly below. You have to locate your filter obviously, because when you change your engine oil, your filter has to get changed. For example, in the Forester, your filter is right there, and normally when you put the filter in, you'd pre-fill it and lubricate the O-ring, but in this case you can't pre-fill it because it's obviously upside down and the oil will go everywhere if you pre-fill it. So if you can pre-fill it, do it. If not, then don't do it. Also, when you change the oil, take your oil cap off and leave it like that so air can go through the system and it doesn't come out gulping. It comes out in a nice stream when you change the oil. Normally I would jack the car up, but I don't have a jack with me right now, so I'm using this ramp sort of thing. So I've parked the car to where I have enough room to crawl underneath it and undo the sump plug. So when you go under your car, you'll see like a black pan like that. It'll obviously be metal. It'll go under your engine. This is a sump. This is where when your car is off, your oil sits in there, and that's a plug. So once you see a plug like that, you can crack it loose and then take it off by hand and the oil will come out. And what I was talking about earlier is your socket won't fit in there in some cars. So yeah, it's too big to actually fit in there, so you have to use a spanner to get in there. In order to get to my oil filter, which is right there, I'm going to take off this bottom cover so I have more access to reach in with my hand. Otherwise it will get too tight through all these gaps and everything. So this pan that I showed you from up above earlier has these 1, 2, 3 and 4 bolts. Undo that, this whole thing will drop out. It's plastic on my car, so it's not going to be that heavy. And also it's got another bolt down there, but that one can stay there because this will just hang down. This plastic piece won't get in the way of the filter. Now that you've successfully taken your skid plate out, look at the amount of access you now have to the filter. You can get your entire arm there and tool and get it off, no problem. There we go, cracked it loose. You can do it by hand now. Also, do keep in mind that your sump plug will have a crush washer on it that would have to get changed every time you change your oil. However, mine looks to be in good condition and I don't have a spare, so I'll just reuse that one until my next oil change. Once your oil is done draining, get a clean rag or any rag really, doesn't matter. Give it a little wipe down. And I'll have to give it another little wipe down, get rid of the extra oil. And you get your spanner. And when you do this up, you get onto a point where they're hard to turn. So you keep tightening it. So you get it to a point where it's hard to turn, you can feel it's getting tight, and give it 1 or 2 snugs. That's it, no more than that. If you go more than that, you can crack yourself, or strip it, and then you got a big issue. When you do take off your filter, make sure to put your catch can down below, because it will leak oil from there. You get your wrench, filter wrench, chuck it on there. Okay, make sure you line up your catch can. Let it drain out a little bit. And keep in mind it will be full of oil, so when you take it off, don't obviously flip it upside down and get oil on yourself, because it will not be fun. There we go. Put that in the catch can and let it drain. Alright, so when you get to putting the new filter in, get a little bit of good oil. You can wipe your hands if you want to, so don't get it dirty. Get a bit of good oil, lubricate the O-ring so it seals better when you put it back. And also, if I put it full, obviously when I put it back on like that, it will spill. A little bit less than halfway. Just like that. So I'm going to put this filter onto, obviously there where it came off. The other one came off. Be careful to not cross thread it, and don't spill it. This is what I'm going to tell you. I think I might have overfilled mine, so it might spill a little bit. As long as I don't spill all the oil out of it, we should be alright. Let's move that hose out the way. Spin a little bit, that's fine. Make sure the O-ring doesn't come off. The O-ring has to stay on there for it to seal properly. Screw it on. And you'll know you won't cross thread if you can get it on by hand and it goes on nice and smooth. Then obviously it's in the threads nicely. There we are. And when you put your filter on, do not use any wrench or any other tool to tighten it, because you can strip it by over tightening it. So only do it hand tight. Get your hand there and tighten it as much as you can by hand. You even get 2 hands in, and only do it as hard as you can, but with 2 hands. If you really want to, you get gloves, get a rag if you want, like that, and that's it. And also write down how many kilometers it has. 110,000 Ks. And if you feel it sideways, it allows air to seep in, so it won't glob. It'll have a nice stream of oil. Right, now I'm gonna give a little wipe down, try not to get anything else into the engine. What you're gonna want to do now is start the car. Make sure there's no leaks anywhere. That's how you successfully change your oil. Hope you learned something new. If you did, make sure to subscribe, because I'll be posting a lot more car related videos. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.